Poundcake at WMMS.com. Just hit the contest tab there. Got a few hundred people have already signed up, and we'll choose randomly from those people. So next week, Team Mary. Also next week, I'll have Pussifer tickets for you. They are going to be part of Sonic Temple, but I think they're doing their own thing aside from that. They're going to play MGM Northfield Park on May 28th. That would be the night after Sonic Temple ends, I think. Is that right? Monday? That sounds like May 29th or May 20... that would be May 29th, because Sonic Temple ends on the 28th. If you're trying to get to Sonic Temple in May to see Foo Fighters and Tool and Godsmack and many Kiss and Rob Zombie, Stansbury has those tickets next week. So hit him up for Sonic Temple. We'll continue with the Polar Blast. And if you want to see Pussifer by themselves, that, of course, Maynard Keenan's longtime side project. So that's next week. Cavaliers lose last night by 2 in Salt Lake City to the Jazz. 116-114 is the final. They'll play the Trailblazers in Portland tomorrow night. That is at 10 o'clock. Start here on MMS. Cavs are still in 5th in the East behind Philly, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and Boston. So they're doing pretty well. They're doing fine. Celtics are looking great. Doing very well.
Still lost twice to the Cavs.
That is true. They did. Mm-hmm. And you can use the promo code ANEW all through the month of January for 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. So look into that whenever you're going to get some stuff from them. I was clicking around the other night. A listener had told me this, and I had to go and verify for myself, that amid all of the changes on the streamers that you might subscribe to, there's been a lot of complaints and hullabaloo over a lot of the content that these streamers are pulling. HBO, for whatever reason, I think they're part of that Warner Brothers Discovery merger. They pulled off all of this old great Looney Tunes stuff. Warner Brothers content. I don't know why they did that. Maybe they're prepping for something else. So in the midst of them pulling a lot of things, they added Johnny Dangerously. The classic Michael Keaton, Joe Piscopo, Mary Lou Henner film. Griffin Dunn. Yep.
Whoa!
Yep.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
Yeah, he barely lived through that one. They've also, new season of The Righteous Gemstones is coming very soon, too.
Yes.
Third season of the...
This.
You do.
Everyone's like, just with the way you grew up, like, you have to watch this show.
It's so
Uncle Baby
funny.
Billy.
And it's
a great show.
Did you watch Eastbound and Down?
No, Kenny Powers annoyed me.
I couldn't get into that either.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
I couldn't get into it.
I love Eastbound and Down. Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals. It's the same guy that's made all these shows.
I don't like Danny McBride in the lead because he plays the same guy in everything, so I like him as part of the ensemble on Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
I love Eastbound and Down. The seasons 2 and 3 are kind of middle of the road, but the first and the last season are
there's only
fantastic. 4? I think there's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Speaking of the iHeartRadio app, you can always leave us messages there. A little talkback button if you like.
Poundcake's not wrong for not wanting to install the bidet himself. My neighbors are amateurs and they installed a bidet on their own and they ended up causing property damage, which resulted in there being a leak in the unit underneath them.
So, we've established that he's already cracked one of his Christmas gifts. He started reading Mary's gift to him, the Jared Kushner book. We established yesterday that he has yet to attach that bidet because he's worried that something like that, listener said, is going to happen.
Yeah, I just want equal responsibility. I obviously am a man and would take responsibility for, whatever damage I would cause if I caused it. But if my roommate also does half, then we'll do
Well,
half.
but you're
so
also
we've got to be both.
But you're also in a rental, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can go shutting off the... Do you have to shut off the water line for a bidet to install a bidet?
Just
you can
behind
just shut
the
off
toilet.
behind the toilet. There's
Just
a
a little
little knob
twist.
there. It's
I
that
see.
kind of oblong.
Yeah. Well, then what's the
knob.
problem?
You just twist that.
How did
take
this
it off.
dude who called, how did they end up with water damage?
Because people are able to do really bad jobs at things.
I thought these bidets got pretty idiot-proof along the way.
I feel like they are. But
Huh.
if you don't know how to, I don't know, if you can't tighten things properly.
I guess it all goes
could
back
leak.
to YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
with the advent of YouTube, which is nothing new, by the way, I'm always surprised. People will tell you, you can learn to do anything on YouTube.
YouTube?
Sometimes
Am I saying
YOUTUUB.
my daughter,
There's an umlaut in there,
Yeah.
but I mean, Google it. You'll find it.
Okay.
my daughter will be like, "Hey, how do I do?" And I'm just like, "Are you asking me to Google or YouTube something for you? Because you're 23 years old. You got to understand that I'm just going to send you to YouTube to try and figure out these very simple things." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I always forget." I'm like, "Okay."
Most of the, I like that answer. I forgot about YouTube. Most of the accounts I follow on Instagram are like contractor and renovation accounts. They're like, hey, need to know how to put something in, and in their quick clips, but at least you know who to like follow. You could YouTube that person. They always
Right.
have a YouTube channel. So the Poundcake is, he's erring on the side of caution. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. If I was Poundcake, I'd probably do the same thing.
And it's kind of
I think your roommate will be able to handle it, though, because he's a country boy, right?
he is. He's a country boy, and he's good with that type of stuff. And I just want. He doesn't even necessarily have to be there. I mentioned it, and he was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And I'm like, "When should we do it?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. We'll pick a day." And I don't necessarily need him to be there. I just want him to co-sign when I decide to do it, because then that way I'm like, all right, you're equally liable for whatever I do. This is the day I'm doing it.
Just let him do it.
Now, here's my question to piggyback off of the last segment. What happens first? Cody finishes this book or he installs the bidet?
He finishes the book.
You think so?
He sounds committed to not messing with the bidet.
Yeah.
But I want the bidet. I just don't want to be the one to install it by myself. My roommate is there most of the time, so I think the bidet honestly will be first. I don't think. I guess what it's going to depend on. My lease is up July.
You're not putting that thing in before July.
Are you staying there, though?
I don't know. I haven't. My life is in disarray right now. I have no idea what I'm doing, where I'm going to live. If my roommate wants to.
Tell you what, I got a storage unit.
Oh, I can live in your storage unit?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
actually
it's not you can't lay down in it because it's just like an up and down one. But we could make it so that you could, curl up in a ball at the bottom.
My storage place made me sign. It's in the contract that you're not allowed to live there.
Well,
But
this
a lot
one's
of people
in my
do.
building.
You're not supposed to.
They're
Yeah.
like,
A
you
lot of
can't,
people
like
do.
in big bold letters, is like, this is not a residence.
Yeah,
Right.
but you
This
got
one's
You
in my
cannot live
building.
here.
But if you find a place where the night manager looks the other way,
Yeah.
a lot of people have lived in storage spaces.
Life's in disarray. I have no idea. If he wants to renew, that's cool. I would consider that. But I think he wants to move and get a house with his girlfriend. And if that's the case, then I'm either living solo or it's going to be another roommate situation, which I have to deal with.
Live alone. You should.
Yeah, how
live
much?
alone.
How much is your rent there?
It's $900.
You think Poundcake is the kind of guy that should be living alone?
Yeah.
No,
He needs
he's
to branch
not.
out.
That's
Leave the nest.
listen. Living alone is fantastic
It's the best thing.
if you got the head for it. He doesn't have the head for it.
I feel like he's never had to have the head before it. I never lived. I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? I never
is
lived
true.
alone until I did, and it was awesome.
Okay.
You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Well, we'll figure out
You'll
for
be
July.
MC Wettings by then, so maybe you'll be making some good money.
Correct. Again, a lot of things have to fall into place. So that fingers
That'd
crossed.
be another way to make some money. If you fall,
Into
To the
a
right place.
Uh-huh.
To the right place. Yeah.
Slip and fall.
mm-hmm.
You know, like your back steps in that refrigerator or whatever.
Take a dive, bro.
Yeah, no. I
Could have
thought about-
really cashed in on that, my man. But you,
I wonder how much money I could have got for that. I know you said they would fight me tooth and nail, but I don't know. That I had pictures and it was pretty convincing.
well, then yeah,
Fall-
missed opportunity.
Y'all would never hear the end of my mouth. I'm like, I'm crippled now, guys. You guys got to be nice to me. Like, I'll roll in here.
You've got to be nice to me because I'm crippled. You know how people who are handicapped want everybody to treat them differently?
Mm-hmm.
Alan, my wife installed 3 bidets by herself for a surprise. All of our toilets are done. I guess the implication from this person is, hey, if my wife could do it, Anybody could do it.
Women have squirrel brains.
But again, it's probably his house.
I didn't even know she knew how to work a wrench.
This is an apartment, and I do live on the upper level. So if there is a leak, it will be our fault.
Huh. All right. Well,
So I just need a country boy to co-sign, and
Yeah, get him to. I would just have him do it. It takes 15 minutes. It's really easy to do, and then once you have that bidet, you're gonna feel a lot more confident, and then the boyfriend happens.
I'm usually really clean, like especially since I've been. I'm just saying. Honestly,
I know. I'm just teasing, bud.
Now that,
But it still is a level of, like another level. It feels so good.
But what I'm saying is, I didn't know how bad my situation was because I was eating so poorly, and it was coming out obviously in my poop. But now that I'm eating so clean, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do like 1 or 2 wipes and everything's gone. Like there's
yes, this is why I always say,
You're
what are you
right.
animals eating?
You are right, Alan.
When people are like, oh, I just blew up the... I'm like, oh my God, of course I'm right.
You're right.
Again.
I was like, oh my gosh, 1 wipe. I was like, I know you don't look at it, but I look at it. I'm like, okay, that's pretty much clean. I was like, let me make sure this can't be right. So I go all up and around because I'm like, is there some hiding there? Is there a nook or cranny where it's just like a cave? And I'm like, let me just see. And
What?
it's clean. And yeah, the 2 sheets.
I'll wipe and I'll wipe and I'll wipe and I'll wipe 100 times. Still poop. Still poop.
Let me check that.
It's like I'm wiping a marker or something.
I'll wipe and I'll wipe and I'll wipe. Your diet. Everything goes back to the diet.
But
I was reading this thing, and it's funny. I don't know how many different ways, different publications and websites and everywhere else that people get information. I don't know how many ways they can print articles about exercise more and eat less. That's what it is. How many ways are they going to tell people the same thing? There was a thing that said, reduce risk of early death by 20% by eating healthier. A new study says people are studying. First of all, I don't know what the hell early death is. I don't know how you quantify it by
Dying in the
20%.
morning.
Huh?
Dying in the morning.
In the morning. There you go. Would you like to have an afternoon demise? Well,
I would.
Die in the afternoon?
Let me sleep in and then die.
Right in here.
Sure.
Mid-show. If you cack out, that'd be
I'm worried about the
amazing.
ratings.
Windows right here. Don't be. Windows right here. Unbelievable.
You're welcome.
People go, I haven't heard from Mary in a while. She died. Mary's dead. I don't know
just
what to
laid in
tell
my
you.
butt.
Yeah, Weekend at Mary's.
Eyes open.
Yeah.
Leave my body
Yeah.
here.
Yep. But then all of these articles, if you follow people on Instagram or, a new study says that exercising, and they're trying to move the chains back so far so that people have to do as little as possible just to get people moving. They're like, hey, a 20-minute walk a day is great for you. Hey, a 10-minute walk a day might be able to stave off some heart disease. Can we get you to walk 5 minutes a day out of 24 hours a day? But they all are distilled down to exercise more, eat less. That's all it is. And they have to find a billion ways to tell people the same thing.
Because nobody wants that to be the answer.
A new study, but it's so simple.
But they want something simpler than that.
Simpler
Well, they
than a
don't-
2-line mantra?
Yes.
They want to be able to eat the food that they want to.
I know that people want to pop
yeah.
a pill and drop 200 pounds.
Right.
But that ain't gonna happen. Well, this is a thing,
Depends on
though.
the pill. Depends.
Aren't
on
they?
the
Oh, we
pill.
were on break. I think there was some
There's some
pill that's going around, right? That's like helping people
Is it
drop
like the
a bunch
diabetes pill or
of
something.
something. Yeah. You know how like
people are
Viagra was
just-
a heart pill, and they
Yeah.
go, "Oh my God, we're going to make $1 billion because it makes your wiener hard." This diabetes pill or something. They're like, the test group is losing a bunch of weight. So okay, maybe.
I just need $1 billion to make my wiener hard. I don't need a pill.
Me too.
Uh huh. That's why Bill enjoys Mark Cuban porn, where the guy cosplays.
I just
Mark
his
Cuban.
bank statement.
Uh huh. But yeah, they all say the same thing, basically. They're like, hey, moving your body is real good for you. Do that.
But I don't want to.
But everybody moves in some way. I really think people just have to find a way that they like to do something. People go, I hate running. Okay, don't run.
Just walk.
Running sucks.
Yeah.
It's good for you to a certain degree.
Sway.
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 Shift your weight.
Somebody wrote an
from
article.
cheek
They're
to
like,
cheek.
they go, don't like running? The Monty Python Silly Walk is good for cardio. If you remember
There
the
you
Monty
go.
Python
Yeah.
sketch, the Ministry of Silly Walks. It
Kind
was
of a skip.
John Cleese doing this long-legged thing and kind of, they're like, that's good for you too.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like when they were pretending that they were riding horses.
The coconuts.
Yeah.
No. The Ministry of Silly Walks. Yeah. They're like, do that. That's
There's an
good for you,
article
too.
about how just shaking your legs during the day can help you burn calories. Just like if you just do, they're called calf push-ups, and you just do those all day, it'll help. You just do that. That's the most minimal thing. If you're sitting around, you just lift your calves up a little bit.
Guys on the farm, they have been doing calf push-ups their whole lives.
Yeah.
You get underneath them. You know, they're little, and then, you know, as they get older, that's how you increase your weight.
It sounds like
More weight, fewer reps.
something to get out of like cow tipping. Like, are you cow tipping? No, it's a calf push-up. Just trying to help my weight fluctuate.
Yeah. Something to consider. But I love decrease your risk of early death by 20%. Hey, Davis.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Your name's Davis?
Hey, Alan.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I was just talking to Poundcake, letting him know that I heard you guys talking about TV shows, and I'm a local actor, and I have a guest star spot tonight on Chicago Fire on NBC. If you guys wanted to check it out, support some local talent.
I mean, I do want to check it out. I've never seen that show before, but I know that's one of the 45 Chicago shows that they have over there at NBC.
What's your line?
Yeah, that they have many of them. There's Med, PD, Fire.
What's your line,
Yeah,
Davis?
I'm playing a guy named Omar. He's a OFI officer, and the lead in the show, Severide, is investigating a in-house fire. They think somebody, one of the other police chiefs, may have had something to do with it, and I'm one of the guys that are helping him investigate it.
You have a line?
Oh yeah, I'm a guest star spot, so I have a few scenes in the show tonight.
Oh, good for you. You're a Cleveland actor.
Yeah, I've been doing it professionally full time for about 8 years now.
Awesome. How'd you get this particular spot? Did you read for it, or did they just see a tape, or what?
Yeah, my agent sent me the audition for it, and I sent in a tape, and they booked me off the tape. I've auditioned for this casting director a few times in the past for different shows, and it's Claire Simon in Chicago. So
They don't shoot it in Chicago, do they?
oh yeah,
They do?
shoot it in Chicago. Yep, they sure do. They have a pretty large studio there, CineSpace. They
Yeah,
have
I know
blocks,
that. I thought they just did like
just
exteriors
for-
and stuff.
No, they shoot interior stuff as well. They have different studios within these large buildings that they shoot the interior stuff, and then they actually shoot the exterior stuff on the streets of Chicago.
Wow, cool.
Do they say the words Chicago Fire in every episode? Because
Chicago Fire.
that's what I'd be waiting for every episode.
I do, and they told me numerous times they're like, they can't
Like,
keep saying
you're like,
Chicago
as I'm
Fire.
helping with the
And I was
Chicago
like, but how
Fire.
are people gonna know that I'm on the show?
Right. Davis is like, I'm Omar, Chicago Fire.
Yeah, I was like, oh my Chicago Fire.
It's like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Well,
So
congrats, man. That's awesome.
That's tonight, Davis?
Oh, thanks so much, guys. Yeah.
What time does that air? Chicago Fire.
Yeah, that's tonight. 9 p.m. on the Peacock's channel.
Peacocks, gotcha. 8 Central for our Chicago listeners.
Make sure you guys all watch it and then tweet about how good Omar is so he gets his own spinoff, Omar Fire.
Omar Fire. Right.
Omar Fire. I'm already printing out business cards for that one.
That's beautiful. All right, good luck. Thank you,
Go
Davis.
buy the Porsche now, man. You made it.
It's my desire.
got another $1,000 for you. I got a break here, but 4:30 is going to be that next keyword for you to go fund yourself. If you want to go see Bush in a couple of weeks at MGM Northfield Park, I'll have tickets for you coming back in the break, too.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app.